Is just around the corner. Sorry, Hooney. You're going to be talking first now because T1 versus KT. Take us through, Hooney. Is there a chance for KT here? I think is the way that we're needing to frame this whole series.
Well, I mean, I think there's a chance that KT could take down the T1, maybe the single game, but if they can actually manage to go game 5, I think that's the first key. I don't think they're going to be like clearly, like comfortably just doing 3-0. They have to make a messy game as much as they can, because also in T1, when the game is like actually messy, they actually make a mistake too. Like especially against like in regular season against like HLE, like those kind of types of game, when they dropped the game, they were making mistakes.
And we see the KT fall from grace after being champion in 2018, finally getting Scores Championship. They then got a lot of bottom places, and not until last year did they really recover. As Faker versus Keen, Keen really has had a great split, I think, when it comes to coming back. But Faker, the amount of work he's doing with how little resources he's getting has been insane.
It just doesn't make sense, honestly.
Oh, Pace. Oh, no.
I mean, Faker is not even getting a lot of attention from the jungle as well. Like, he just win by himself.
There you go. Damage per gold. Highest in the league.
No, he's just absolutely ridiculous this season. It's hard because I feel like Faker just keeps reaching new heights. There are times where people are like, oh, yeah, well, he's not as good as he used to be. I think he's better than he used to be this season. It is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, for Keen, I said, like, I think he's performing, like, really, really well. The problem is just opponents is a Zeus. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, probably Zeus has to be, you know, like, he kind of had to be sick to be Keen to perform, like, really, really insane. Like, that's how good.
That's how good he is, yeah. And again, ever since Zeus became a starter, he has made it to every single final that is possible for him, right? Like, he obviously played a little bit in 2021, but every single one, every final that he could reach, he reached. And it wasn't until World's Final that he kind of cracked, as other half of the map, aiming in hands have been great, but they're going up against Carry.
It's the same thing. It's bot and top.
It's not fair.
It's the same. Like, if you're playing against T1, yeah, I mean, KT, we're good. We know, like, they know, but the opponents, they're against us T1, so theirs is first.
Yeah, there's no but. This is the problem, right? It's like, oh, Zeus is better than Keen on the top side of the map. And what you're supposed to then say is, but look at the bottom lane. Well, there is really kind of no but. Woo! As Carrier is just too good at Thresh, another champion that maybe is just going to be illegal for him to pick up.
And Caitlyn, and Kalista, and Nautilus, which is all he really wants to play. And that kind of solidifies the issue, because as good of a split Lahan's had, in my opinion, a really big part of what has made this team such a menace, his roaming and his impact on the map and his impact on games has been extremely high. But that is provided that he can actually leave his lane. And I think against Keria and Guma, that is going to be one of the big problems that they're going to have to deal with today.
Yeah, I mean, Lian was crazy.
He was...
Prediction for their win here in 2023 as what's going on here?
Oh, you love to see it. That's right. This MVP.
Oh, man. Player of the split. This was pretty much unanimous. It's hard to argue with this. This guy is he's getting even better. I don't know how to say it even more, but might get the same in that facet for Faker here.
Okay, we're seeing the Flex Cassante here with the Elise. Chovy showcase this Veigar, and this is something that was mentioned on the space. BDD has been so good on Veigar. He played it very late compared to the other mid laners, but his performance has arguably been the best here in the LCK. And, you know, a lot of times we look at Veigar and we're like, okay, this pick seems like a trap. It seems like it's overrated. Doesn't seem that good. Dominant so long, whereas KT started off pretty aggressively. This is going to be a 75th pick.
Yeah. I don't know the exact number.
Again, worst case scenario, probably just push them out of the experience range.
It's level 4, so Lahens is like, well, I don't really want to fight this guy.
They are just going to back away. A lot of experience will be lost. But there's nothing really you can do about this. Giving over kills, losing that gold would be huge.
Flash on in. Teleport used as well. Owner has to flash out of this one. As he, well, they were being patient until they weren't.
Designed to do this is not, oh man, KT's dropped the ball. Speaking of,
Faker's getting in there already as the cage will be put down. Faker just skirts around it.
which he is, and they're going to be able to get back control of this bottom side.
Culling, aiming down to 20% health. Just like, yeah, that Rift Herald could be big, as meanwhile, speaking of big, aiming has to flash, but I think he's 100% dead. They wait in the brush.
I'd say accelerate, not in items, but just in map control. Like, she's going to be able to constantly threaten.
Okay, we got the Lehen Skank coming up to the top side as waiting for a good moment. As that will be the flash away from Zeus, and it's not every day you see the level 7.
Right now, unfortunately, do watch this play once again. No vision here. Aiming is just hoping that he's going to be able to get away with some additional farm down here, but this is just straight up greed, and these are the types of mistakes you cannot make against T1. They have the wave straight in the middle.
Conditions, maybe if we can hold on, and it's a big if. As, okay, maybe trying to find a little angle here up on the top side. That's that Lulu and Wukong played together as in goes the Cyclone onto two of them. Guma has to flash away, so they finally find an angle.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it, and tidal wave gonna go wide.
Okay, that was
side, and then we'll be able to get their second turret of the game here. BDD has Cuz.
Oh man, he's caught on the edge there as waiting for that TP. KT's got an angle here. Faker on the run. He does have flash, and he is quite tanky, as Keen really wants to force this one. Faker just on the dash, still has not flashed, as he will all-out him over the wall just to escape. Still has his flash, as he is under here, and Owner getting over the wall with the cocoon, and they turn this around. 2v4, you gotta be kidding me. Second and a half late, like if he was right on that, maybe get something going, cuz now he's just dead. There's just nowhere to go. I mean, he doesn't have flash.
Well, he lost an inner. So there's, like you say, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide.
Look at this.
Faker he just turns.
라인 높여. 나 궁으로 사실
Says he has no full, no flash rather, and no ult. But he is just gonna ult through the wall.
얘 무리한다.
And he's like, they overextended. And he just calls it out. He's like, they overextended. And I mean, it's just the fans going crazy for the taking here for KT. If they win one team fight, all that bounty gold will go over, but they have to win the fight first. It's just not looking likely. As you can see, Guma with rapid fire cannon.
He's got basically 3 items. It's like 2 items and 2 components, but they're big components. So, you know, they do have a lot of control in the enemy jungle. They can see Cuz, as that ward is not denied by the control ward, actually. Keria takes a massive chunk, though, has to use heal.
Okay, this is the angle, maybe. Tidal wave not great either.
They're not able to zone out Cuz, though. He's still got flash. Still got a way in. He's over the wall. The damage comes in, and they get it! KT take the Baron away! And now they're looking for the fight afterwards. The Cyclone, though, doesn't get much value, as T1 really want to get in there and punish for this, as Zeus not able to get a big Gnar, might be able to take down 2 members of KT, and even Keria will survive. Do they have the damage to peel through somebody? The Chemtech Soul you mentioned might actually help in this facet. But if you can get a cage and like a Renekton follow-up, maybe you can get something going. But the culling is already in, the tidal wave right on top of BDD, and Guma is just frontlining, forces the dominance before the fight even really begins.
Faker again, 1v5. He's like, I'm gonna lock this down. He's level 16. He's got Anathemas locked, and he just locked it. Onto aiming. He's like, nope, aiming, you can't do damage to me.
And he really does. And he's just there. He immediately hits Cuz. He's like,
time. Well, the overlap won't be huge here because they do defend.
KT are hanging on for dear life. Poke already does begin. Cage catches the Gnar.
Cuz once again searching, hunting.
Boy. Here we go. That's going to be the end of Keen, and that should be the end of this game. The culling comes in onto BDD, and yeah, that's the end of Aphelios as well. Everybody is just scattering to the wind as Lehens is just emoting, and T1 will not let them get away for free. Takes them all down and takes down all of the Nexus.
공 뺐어.
야 오공 본다. 오공 마카 할게 나가.
한번 쓸게 위로.
레이트. 아래 볼게.
한 봐줘. 나이스.
야 기다려 오공 좀 잡을게. 기다려봐.
나도 얘 잡고 올게.
잡았어.
한 입만.
잡았다.
한 입만.
싫어?
나이스.
나이스.
나이스.